You're looking for an espresso machine that actually fits into your daily rhythm, something that's reliable enough to survive the morning rush, easy enough that you don't feel like you need a barista degree, and worth the money you're putting down, not just a list of glossy specs. That hesitation you feel when you stare at a sleek countertop unit is real. You've probably wondered whether the hype about third-wave coffee at home translates into a drink you can actually enjoy without spending an hour tinkering. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's walk through what it's really like to live with the Breville Barista Touch and Press, especially the certified remanufactured version that's been through a full factory reset. First off, the biggest question is whether the machine lives up to its promise of guided espresso making. The Barista Touch and Press replaces a lot of guesswork with on-screen prompts that walk you through grind size, dose, tamp pressure, and temperature. In practice, that means you can press a few buttons, watch a progress bar, and have the machine tell you when the puck is ready for extraction. For a household where the coffee ritual is a shared activity, say, you and a partner each want a latte before work, this real-time feedback cuts down the let's try again moments that happen with more manual rigs. The learning curve is still there. You'll need to understand why a darker puck might be under-extracted, but the interface makes that discovery less frustrating. The Impress Puck system is another piece that shows up in everyday use. Instead of scooping beans into a portafilter and hoping the dose is right, the machine doses and tamps automatically. The result is a consistently packed puck with less mess spilling onto the counter. I tried making a double espresso for a quick breakfast, and the machine handled the dosing in a few seconds, then prompted a gentle tamp. The extraction was steady, and the crema held up well even after a minute, which is something I usually have to chase with a manual press. For people who want a decent espresso without mastering the art of tamping, that automation is a genuine time-saver. One of the newer features that caught my eye is the cold brew and cold espresso extraction mode. The machine can pull a shot at a lower temperature, preserving more nuanced flavors that are better suited to iced drinks. I set it to the cold brew function on a hot afternoon, let the shot run into a glass of ice, and topped it with a splash of oat milk. The result was smoother and less bitter than a standard hot espresso poured over ice. If you're the type who enjoys a cold coffee after a workout or during a summer brunch, this built-in capability saves you from having to buy a separate cold brew maker or wait for a batch to steep. The Auto Milk You Frother deserves its own shout-out because it's more than just press a button and get foam. The machine detects the type of milk you select, dairy, almond, soy, oat, and adjusts temperature and steam pressure accordingly. When I tried oat milk, the froth came out silky, with microbubbles that held up well in a latte art attempt. It's not a professional-grade steam wand, but for home use it produces a texture that's comparable to what you'd get at a decent CAF. The fact that it's hands-free means you can multitask, set the frother, walk away to grab a muffin, and return to a perfectly frothed cup. Now, let's talk about the practical downsides. Size is the first thing you'll notice. The Barista Touch and Press is a countertop heavyweight, both in dimensions and in actual weight. If you have a small kitchen island or limited counter space, you'll need to commit a decent footprint to it. The water reservoir sits on the side and needs to be refilled at least once a day if you're pulling multiple drinks, which can be a minor inconvenience compared to machines that hook directly into the plumbing. The remanufactured label also raises a question: will a refurbished unit hold up as long as a brand new one? Breville's certification process includes a full inspection and replacement of worn parts, but you're still buying a machine that's had a previous life. For most users, the price savings offset this concern, but if you're a perfectionist who wants a brand new warranty period, you might look at a fresh model instead. Another subtle trade-off is the reliance on the touch screen. It's intuitive, but it does add a layer of software that can occasionally glitch, think a frozen menu after a power surge. In my experience, a quick reboot solved it, but it's a reminder that you're dealing with an electronic interface, not just knobs and levers. If you prefer the tactile feel of a classic rotary dial, this machine will feel a bit too modern. So, who should consider?